Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the South Florida Gamers Podcast. I am your host, the Silverback Senpai, and joining me is my co-host, Mr. Waluigi himself.
Hey guys, long time no see. Glad to be here again for episode 3 with our special guest.
That's right, and our special guest is none other than TheMediaNut.
Yo, what is up, guys? It is me. Thank you for having me on. I'm really excited to be here. This is freaking awesome.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen,
welcome to okay, automatically bad luck has occurred the moment I came in. Kind of expected.
Okay, that my bad, y'all.
Nah, it's alright.
Okay, I apologize for that because yeah, I fucked up right there.
That's it. Stream's ruined, guys. That's it. We can't do it anymore. Call my publicist. I'm out.
All right, so with our guest, TheMediaNut, man, I mean, it's been like when I was thinking about guests that I wanted to get on for the podcast, me and Waluigi were talking about it, I was like, you know what? I want this guy because he's an interesting guy, and you know, he always has when it comes to like gaming culture, he is so well knowledgeable of gaming culture. So it was like, you know what? If there's anyone that I would want for our first guest, not the obvious first guest that people thought it would be due to the place where I'm at, but it had to be him. I was like, I had to get this guy on, and
I agree.
Wait, this is a video game podcast? I thought this was a knitting class.
No,
I forgot the needles.
Dang. But yeah, real quick though, because you mentioned that, quick shout out to Flynn's, because I freaking love this place. These guys are wonderful, wonderful people, and I'm very cool that they're allowing you guys to do your podcast and do your live streams here. I've been to some of your live streams before, and I see you guys playing here all the time, and it's so cool. It's so awesome. Shout out to Will and Eddie. You guys are the best.
Yeah, man, they are truly the best, and I mean, they're pretty much our sponsor. I mean, yeah, pretty much.
This podcast is brought to you by Flynn's Arcade.
Oh man, so how's everyone been doing so far?
Been pretty good.
It's all right. Just quarantine, distance, all that jazz.
Yeah.
Whatever I could say to not get this live stream demonetized.
Yeah.
But it's been good. It's interesting to see the different people's reactions and how people have been going through it. I know we're not really gonna dive deep into the topic of it. For obviously we have a lot of different stuff to talk about here. But when it comes to this specifically, it's just interesting to see how the world itself has been reacting to it, and how the difference between my opinions of it and other people's opinions of it. It's definitely a learning experience for how different aspects of the world react to such a situation. But that's basically it. Freaking pandemic, and then murder bees, and then now apparently Pentagon announcing that there's an alien spaceship near our planet. So freaking 2020, man, we don't know what you're bringing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Florida's going to pull up next.
Yeah, man, crazy times that we're living in right now.
We are Florida men, so we can probably handle this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Freaking, if we could Naruto run through Area 51, I think we could do anything.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I forgot about that.
Such a good time.
Yeah,
good time last year.
Kind of sucks though that it's you would think that would have been a bigger event, and then it's just. Actually, no. Now that you think about it, I'm realizing now anything relating to alien stuff is becomes such boring news, to the point where literally we now have confirmation that there is a UFO somewhere in our vicinity by the Pentagon.
Oh dear.
This isn't some person on the newspaper saying, I swear I saw it. No, this is legit. It's been confirmed. And then and no one bats an eye. Because of course we're in this pandemic. It's just,
we can't go outside to see it.
This year is weird. That's all I'll say.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I will like to recap from last week. Not last week, but the last episode that we did with when it was just myself and Waluigi, and I was replaying back the video as I'm listening to it and whatnot, and then I realized that, oh god, the audio sounds awful. I'm listening to it on Spotify. I'm like, oh goodness. I mean, we've been using this. I mean, shout out to Eddie from Flint Arcade for allowing us to use this audio recorder, so that way we can have nice, clean audio while you guys listen to it on the playback. And for the record, I just want everyone to know that even though it may not be, very professionally made or whatnot, but gotta give us some time. I mean, a couple of episodes, we're gonna get this right. We're gonna get it, squared away and fixed. So we're trying. We're making things. We're making things happen because, hey, I mean, why not? I mean, some people, they don't try to do new things, especially as content creators. They don't try. They don't make an attempt, and they're just more so concerned of the quality. Like, is it good? Is it really good or whatnot? If not, then they'll just delete and be like, okay, I'm gonna have to redo it again. And with podcasting, it's just you want to make sure everything is done right the first time. And even if it doesn't seem right, then hey, at least the next podcast that you'll make some changes, you make some corrections. So once everything plays back, then hey, everything will sound good. And then of course we also have people watching in the chat that can also chime in their thoughts, like, hey, we can't hear him, this person needs to speak up, you need to tone this one down, so on and so forth. So feedback is greatly appreciated. Just don't be negative about it. Like, we're just trying new things. Like, calm down.
Yeah, constructive
criticism. It's a learning process.
Yeah, definitely. So with that, so what games have y'all been playing this past time from last podcast to now?
I'll let you guys go first.
I wasn't heavily influenced on watching Silverback playing Tekken. I ended up downloading Tekken. I just started playing it. But I did. It's actually pretty fun. I got back into my full fighting game charisma. I played a lot of Mortal Kombat 11, and then I just died off from fighting games for a minute. And then after watching your streams, I just decided to get into it, and I'm definitely enjoying the normal and the competitive side of it.
Nice.
When it comes to me, what I've been up to and the games I've been playing, usually I've just been really busy with like working on stuff for my YouTube channels, for both my company Random Ramblings Productions as well as my personal channel TheMediaNut. But whenever I do get free time, I've been playing Smash Bros. Obviously, it's always I always play Smash, always, and then Pokemon, but Pokemon Showdown, because I don't got that money to get any of those new games. I want to, but I don't have. Maybe at some point. But been having a good time. Not really a lot of other games. Kingdom Hearts 3, another one, but I've beaten that game multiple times already. I've just been enjoying it because it's just one of my favorites. It's been good though. It's been fun. I've been practicing a lot of different characters, and it's definitely been interesting for the world of gaming how this whole situation has affected it, both in a positive and negative light.
Oh, I definitely agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's you see so many delays now, but also you see so many video games thriving. Everyone in the world at this point has heard about Animal Crossing now.
Oh God, yes.
If you haven't heard about it, then if you don't even know what Animal Crossing is, thanks to this pandemic, you know now.
I have no shame that I just have my second investment in my house right now, and I'm making it semi-imperial.
Yep, you're basically either hearing about a villager or Isabel or the gang leader that is Tom Nook, or the mysterious possible Five Nights at Freddy's reference with that zipper bunny dude.
Oh, Zippy.
The Easter Bunny. The Easter Bunny.
Oh my God.
You cannot look at that thing and tell me that's not some kind of Five Nights at Freddy's reference. That's straight up, if you're familiar with Five Nights at Freddy's, that's straight up what's his face. Afton, my girlfriend loves Five Nights at Freddy's, that's why I know all about this, but Yellow Bunny dude who's kills a bunch of people. I don't know. Springtrap.
But yeah, Zippy, I think is his name, but he's been in all the Animal Crossings.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, fudge. I thought it was This game exclusive.
It's an Easter exclusive.
Never heard of him. He's become such a meme, and it's like so much of it has been FNAF related that I'm imagining it's like, oh, like this has to be a character that was made from this, or at least like for this game specifically. And
I think it was the other way around.
New Horizon. I guess not. It was funny. It was good.
That is.
What about you, Silver?
For me, I've been playing Tekken, of course. Been playing a lot of Tekken. Been playing a few Mortal Kombat 11. Shame on me. I should be playing a little bit more. I've also been playing Apex Legends with Season 5 about to come out this week, Tuesday, which I am excited about. And I've also been playing Persona 5, which I'm trying to finish up and beat, so that way I can go ahead and start on Persona 5 Royale. And yo, that RPG, I regret not buying it day one because my goodness, I did not think that game was gonna completely suck me in and just be enthralled in this universe, this interesting universe of characters. And I like the concept and the idea of, hey, there's this bad person out there or whatnot that's being being a complete and total jerk to people. So now you go into this metaverse, this what's the word I'm looking for, limbo or whatever universe it is, and now you're going there to change his heart, so that way in the real world he has a complete change of heart. He's no longer a douche or an idiot or no longer a criminal. They admit their crimes, their wrongdoings, and it's a very interesting concept. It makes me think about I guess we should have the Phantom Thieves here in real life, because there are some bad people out there that do need a change of heart.
Yeah, because like there's always like these such negative connotations to, responding to like a bunch of people that people see as bad, and it's like I always see like these very ugly like middle not middle these very ugly like finger pointing situations where it's like, oh, that person should drop dead, or this person should like something horrible should happen, and it's like, wouldn't it be a better situation if this person can change for the better? Like,
yeah, definitely.
I feel like that would be like the best case scenario. Obviously, like whatever crime they commit is not something that's easily fixed, but it should at least have the possibility of redemption, I guess. So that is an interesting concept with Persona. I know that the Persona series has always been like extremely popular, and
definitely
it's taken the world by storm in so many ways as an RPG, and to the point where Masahiro Sakurai himself is like, I love this game so much that not only am I going to put a character of it in Smash and a stage and music, but also, fun fact, a lot of the design for the menus of Smash Bros. Has originated and inspired by Persona.
Oh, snap.
Really?
I never knew that, actually.
Yeah, never knew that.
Sakurai is that big of a Persona fan that he wanted that to be the case. He fought hard to get Joker into Smash, so that's a really crazy, cool little like fun fact.
I gotta get into Persona. It looks like a good game.
I also need to get it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so we have Pedro here, TheMediaNut. So tell us, what made you come up with the name TheMediaNut, and of course tell us about Random Ramblings Productions. Like, tell us what you do and things like that. Like,
so okay,
give us your origin story.
Oh gosh, this has been fun. So actually, it's funny. The last podcast that I was on, actually, I was asked a very similar question. So it's like, I actually love this question, because it's especially the way people say it like that, because like they always ask like, what's the origin story, and it's like, oh, that's cool, I like that. So I'm trying to think what came first. Okay, Random Ramblings technically came first, where back in high school, a bunch of friends and I, we not recently, but like because it's back in high school. But back in high school, my friends and I would watch a lot of YouTube and like watch a lot of these like funny review shows and stuff like that. And at one point, my friend Alejandro and I, one day we decided, how cool would it be to like do stuff like this? And it's like, why don't we? And we're like, okay, that sounds fun, let's do it. And the name Random Ramblings honestly came really easily. We're just trying to think, it's like, oh, what we call ourselves, what we think. And it was like, okay, what do we like to do? Well, we like having conversations. We like sharing our opinions. We like to talk a lot. And then it's like, yeah, we ramble about a bunch of random things. And then it just kind of clicked. And we're like, Random Ramblings? And it's like, oh, yeah, that sounds really good. And then later on, when it became more of a company, then it's like we added the production. So then Random Ramblings Productions was born. So arguably, Random Ramblings started off as a show first that's still ongoing, but obviously due to the pandemic, we can't really film episodes of it. But it is a show that we film. It's a story-based show, actually. Very fun, very cool. Very fun premise, basically. Just to get quick into it, and then I'll explain the rest. But Random Ramblings is a show that we created that follows a young up-and-coming creator who teams up with a ragtag group of frenemies in order to do reviews of famous pop culture icons. But what they don't realize is that everything that they review tends to usually come to life and either try to befriend them or try to kill them.
Oh my god.
So it's a different situation every episode. One episode we could be reviewing Star Wars and Darth Vader shows up and tries to kill us. Another episode could be you talked about Tekken. We're doing Tekken, and I keep in mind I don't know much about Tekken. So Hayachi, is he from Tekken?
Oh, Hayachi.
Yes.
Hayachi. Okay,
Yeah.
Hayachi shows up and he challenges us to a fight. Or we're doing Pokemon and there's a Pikachu running around the office. So like stuff like that. There's a different situation going on every episode where these famous icons of pop culture, not just gaming, but pop culture itself. So it could be from a movie, TV show, video game, anime, book, whatever. They'll show up and they'll interact with our characters. And it's a lot of fun. And at first, people would look at this and be like, oh, it's like a situational review show, different situations happening. But the thing I love about it is every episode, when you pay attention to the stuff in the background, there is a consistent ongoing story. So now you're kind of left wondering, okay, this stuff is happening to these characters, but number one, why these characters specifically? And number two, why is it that these pop cultural icons of fiction are suddenly here in the real world? What's the mystery behind that? And that's something that we're doing right now in season 1. We have 5. I don't want to say too bad, like so that I don't get in trouble. I mean, it's my company, but still, I don't want to get in trouble. But it's
understandable.
I think we have like
you don't want to
4
put out
or
any confidential
5
stuff out there.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
What I can say, around 4 or 5 seasons are planned right now. So like this is a full-on story that we have. That it's going to be a lot of fun. It's really cool. So
Gotcha.
we do a lot of that. So that's the show. And then when we started thinking of like what to do with the company, that's when a bunch of my friends came together and be like, hey, like we like the stuff that you're doing. Let's build a company off of this. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. What should we name it? And again, this is like early college at this point. And so we're kind of thinking like, well, Random Ramblings is already kind of like a known name. Why not we just name it after that? So, Random Ramblings Productions. The story of the name of MediaNut is actually really funny, though, because I was not the one who created that name.
Someone else did.
Yeah, one of my friends, Rebecca Ann Proenza, she is an author. Right now she has a book that just came out on her online, an ebook. I think it's like on Amazon, I think. Don't hold me on that. I'm sorry, Beck. I forgot. Protectors of Humanity. Really fun, really cool. But one day we were just brainstorming, trying to think of like, okay, what should our character names be? And like everyone was trying to come up with one. Like Alejandro came up with Radman. Beck came up with like Snapping Turtle. My girlfriend Zadie, she came up with Silly Driffoon. And I'm just thinking like, what should it be? What should it be? I'm trying to decide. And like at one point we're thinking, okay, what are the things about my character? It's like, okay, well, he's a guy who goes crazy about pop culture and media. And she's like, so you're nutty for media? And I'm like, yeah. It's like, what about the MediaNut? And we're like, nah. Actually, that has a nice ring to it. And it just kind of stuck. And I know that when it comes to the name The MediaNut, there's like a lot of like connotations and jokes you can say about it, but I don't know. There's just a really cool ring to it. That
it does have a nice ring.
Yeah, it does.
It's stuck, and I really appreciate it. But yeah, those are basically the origin stories of who I am, what I do, and stuff like that. I'm just a guy who likes talking and sharing his opinions about social media and pop culture. Anything nerdy, I just love. It's
You definitely came to the right house.
Oh
brother.
yeah, definitely. I mean, that was the main reason why I was like, I want to get this guy on the podcast or whatnot, because he, this guy can go on for a really good tangent and whatnot and keep you very interested in the conversation, like whatever it is, whether it's like gaming, pop culture references or whatnot, movie references, you name it. It goes along with his name, TheMediaNut. Like, the guy's a nut about media.
It's nuts.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For the record, though, sometimes it does get me in trouble sometimes. So, I understand that. I apologize to anyone who's annoyed by me. But at the same time, it's just, growing up, I very much learned that it's like, never be ashamed of who you are. And that's something that it's kind of something that, it's a mission statement with Random Rallies Productions. Because we do have a mission statement. We do have a message that we try to share with people. It's this motto that we have, where at the end of every one of my videos, either on MediaNut or Random Rallies Productions, there's always this motto either that I say or that's said in the credits, where it is keep doing you, meaning it's a keep doing you, keep sharing laughs, and keep on rambling. So the meanings of that is keep doing you, keep being yourself, be proud of who you are.
I respect
be you.
that.
Yeah, definitely.
Keep sharing laughs is the idea of spreading positivity. We live in a very ugly world, guys, sad to say. A lot of negativity exists, so then sharing positivity should be very, very important, especially now in this day and age where everything's going to, I don't curse, but going to trash.
Yeah, pretty much.
Agreed.
It's very ugly. So keep sharing laughs is that idea. Make people smile, because it's very worth it. It's a very gratifying feeling. And then keep on rambling, as I always do. It's probably the one that I go by most, which is share your opinions. Don't be afraid to do that. And it's because you never know what could happen. I shared my opinions multiple times, and now I'm not big. Don't get me wrong. I am not big at all. But my name somehow has gone out there in the realm of nerditude in South Florida, where it's if you go to a convention here in South Florida and you ask for who I am, most people are gonna know it somehow. I'm friends with some voice actors and celebrities now because I just never shut up. And it's funny and it's weird and it's crazy, but it's true. As long as you keep doing what you're doing and it's for the right reasons, and you love what you're doing, you're passionate about it, keep doing it. And it's not easy at all. People who I love,
Nothing is ever
who are
easy
in my life to this day,
Especially if it's
continue
doing
to
something
doubt
that you
me
love.
or continue to kind of question what I do. But it's worth it, because this makes me happy. What we're doing makes me happy, and if what you're doing is making you happy, then that's what you should continue to do.
Absolutely.
Preach it, brother.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Snaps.
Yeah, those are basically all the projects that I do, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Just saying. I do Smash Bros. Content on MediaNut, and I do cinematic stuff on Random Rallies. That's basically it. I'm a nerd. Let's go.
Yeah.
So, what about you guys? What's up? I feel like I talk for way too much, and I'll keep talking, but I need people to tell me to shut up.
Nah.
Shut up. Nah, I'm kidding.
Nah, we
Yes,
gotta
master.
shut up.
Yeah, I met you 2018 at what was it? Gamer Comic Expo. I was with my buddy, and I'm like, Media Nut, Media Mash. That sounds like an adventure I can get myself in. And the funniest thing, that was the first debate I've been into a Comic-Con, because we debated on who would probably defeat Goku, or who was probably one of the strongest characters. And my buddy chose Venom, and he won the debate completely.
Oh, yeah.
He was
Yeah.
against Saitama.
Oh, Saitama, yeah. So to kind of give you guys a little bit of a context of what that is. So for those of you who don't know, Media Mash is a game show that my team and I created on our YouTube channel, where basically we usually host it at conventions and we film it. Right now, we're in the process of trying to make an online series of that, so that we don't have to have a convention happening in order to film it. More info on that coming soon at some point. Just letting you know. Make sure to follow us on our social media. But besides that, but no. So the way that Media Match works, it is a debate game show where I'm the host, and we ask a question about any form of pop culture, like who is the strongest character of fiction, and or who is the best Disney princess, or whatever it could be. Who's the stupidest Pokemon? And basically, there are usually 3 contestants. Each contestant gives their personal opinionated answer, and then they explain why they chose that answer. Then I say the words, mash it up, and everyone starts debating and arguing why their character is the best or worst, or whatever it is the case. Like, they start arguing their case. The winner is not the person who makes the most sense. It is the person who gives the best argument. So if you can make it make sense and have a powerful argument, it'll be good. The best example I have is this one time I asked the question, who is the most powerful Pokemon? And this one guy chose Mewtwo. This other person chose Rattata. So
wait, Rattata?
Yeah, Rattata. So
not
usually you wouldn't think that, but here's the thing.
Is that guy drunk?
Well, here's the thing.
Here's
where the argument is important. So then the argument starts, and it's like, okay, why is Mewtwo the most powerful Pokemon? It's like, because it's Mewtwo, man. It's Mewtwo.
Not the fact he was alternating.
He's like, it's Mewtwo. And he kept saying it over, like
he was engineered.
It's like he's the most powerful Pokemon ever. Okay, why? Because he's Mewtwo. Do you not see what he could do? And it's like, can you explain that? And it's like stuff. And then the other dude who argued for Rattata, he gave an entire strategy of how Rattata could beat Mewtwo. Where it's like, in the games, if you gave Rattata the moves Endeavor and Quick Attack, and then gave him a Focus Sash, and then it's like Mewtwo can hit him, but then Rattata hits Endeavor, and then priority with Quick Attack, Mewtwo gets defeated. And it's like, that's a good argument.
Oh, yeah.
And in the end, Rattata won. So that's the thing. It's like, you can go for the obvious choice, where it's like, okay, who could win in a fight, Saitama or Super Mario? And everyone's gonna think Saitama. But it's like, if the argument doesn't support it, Mario's gonna win.
Okay,
it's always good to have a game plan when you get yourselves into this, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah, no, that's the whole aspect of a debate, and it's very interesting. It's a lot of fun, and I learned very early on when I first created this game show that people love to argue. They love sharing their opinions. That's one of the reasons why I made that show, and why so many people like it, because people like to spew out their stuff, and if
the amount of screaming is awesome.
Yes. Everyone's like, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. Let me tell you why you're wrong. Well, let me tell you why I'm right. I'm wrong.
Oh, then the crowd gets in on it, and it's just full of hype.
It's so fun. It's really cool.
The last one I went to was awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, like I remember when I was at a Super Fan Con, and then you were up on stage, and you're just like pointing the fingers at people or whatnot, and then you have people like arguing and bickering and whatnot. I'm like, what did I just walk into?
It's fun. It's crazy.
I felt that.
Little fun fact, because right now on the Random Ramblings channel, we're actually releasing the Super Fan Con Media Match videos finally. So the entire month of May, we're releasing those videos, and it's like, because you were there, you can vouch for me.
Yeah.
But it's like, when I say this thing gets very hectic and fun, and it's become so popular, I'm not going to name any names, I'm not going to say any things, even though you kind of already said the name of the con, but like with that being said, this con, the owner, he's a friend, he's a good dude, and at one point, like, he was like, yeah, like, we're gonna let you do your panel. It's fine. Like, people have talked about you a couple of times. So it was fine. But it's like, don't worry if there's not too many people. And I'm like, okay.
I know how this went.
So then, I'm so sorry because this is not my person. I don't want to brag, but I love these moments where people doubt, because those are the moments when you prove them wrong. Is those really gratifying feeling, but it's more of a sense of like not to be a jerk about it, be like, hey, you're wrong. No, it's to prove a point that it's like, hey, no, let me show you why. And it's like, you were there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I was in the audience.
Every single other panel at that con had an okay amount, few people.
I walked by them until I went to the Media Mash.
Oh yeah.
And then Media Mash. It surprised me. That's the thing. It surprised me, but it was packed.
Yeah,
full house.
Yeah,
it was insane. I have no idea why. I have no idea how. Because in the end, it is a fun game show, but I don't expect a lot from it. Especially because there were certain celebrities there. But that's the thing. Like, celebrities come to Media Mash now, and it's so weird. Like, the amount of people I've got to work. I've got to work with Kellen Goff, Greg Sipes, Joe Gaudette. I've got to work with some people from like Dragon Ball and Walking Dead and My Hero Academia, just to name a few. And it's like cast from Pokemon even. It's so weird. It's so crazy, but people like it. People, like I said, people like sharing their opinions. If you give someone a reason to argue their opinion, they're usually going to jump at it. It's fun. Sorry.
No, man. You're all good, man.
So then, what other... I know that we have like a couple of topics that we want to discuss.
Yeah. And I was going to say, like, how I met TheMediaNut. It was through Anime Y of last year when I did an interview with him. And I was like... Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I want to see what this guy's gonna, do, in the future or whatnot. So I'm gonna give him a follow the Random Ramblings production, and just stick around and watch his content and see. Okay, let me see. You know what? This guy seems interesting. I want to see what he does next, because for me, I like to see interesting people, especially content creators, because you want to know what do they do, how do they do it, and how do they just make things happen. And when you see that and they give such a awesome amount of positive energy, you want to be around that. And that's what led me to go ahead and follow him and interview him, get his take about how's his experience at Anime Y. And hey, look where we are now a couple of months later. He's my first guest at the South Florida Gamers podcast.
And I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you, man.
It really is a really cool thing for me to be here. It is an honor. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just hoping that, once this thing is all over with, the pandemic or whatever, and everyone can go back to living their normal lives, and we can go back to conventions. I know you're going to hit it hard. You're going to hit it hard and hit it out the ballpark, because like myself, like, you've got ideas up in your mind and you're just like, I just can't wait to go, because I have some stuff that I want to try out and do. And even if it fails, I'm fine with that, because it's a learning experience.
It is.
And I know that my next one, it's going to get even bigger. I'm going to go even harder at it, and people will see that success that I'm getting. Even though I'm stumbling, they'll see that success and be like, man, look at this guy go. He's going out there. He's getting it.
It's a rough road, and it's not easy, because you're right. Like, there are a lot of moments that I can recall where I've stumbled and I've even fallen, and obviously as of this point I've been able to get up, but it's not an easy task, especially when there are certain things like corporations and like the big boss people up on top, like always trying to like, not trying, but like always kind of like negating certain things. I can't name any names for certain conventions, but like I work with a lot of conventions that I genuinely have a connection to, either because I'm friends with the people that own it, or because they aspire to be something that I believe in.
If it's Gamer Comic Expo,
that one. I'm just gonna say it right here, right now. If we're really getting into this,
Oh man.
Oh, here we go.
But like, I also know we have a lot of other topics to discuss, so I don't want to get in the way of that. And I have talked a lot. It's your podcast. I want you guys to talk as well.
Gamer
but one
Comic
thing I will
Expo
say
was
is,
trash.
Yes,
it
was.
sucked.
I went 2 years ago, and Media Mash was the most fun I had.
Sucked.
And then I jumped into a conga line.
And I wanted it to be good,
Same
Yeah.
here.
but
Me
at the
too.
same time, it's not even the fact that it's like it was a bad con. Well, it was a bad con. It was not a good con.
Oh no.
But
No.
the people who are part of it are even worse. Again, I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to...
I've already done my video on it, so
Yeah.
I haven't done a video, so it's good. I can just put some things in.
At some point, I should do a video about it. But it's like... No, they are very, very bad people.
It's not. What was it?
I do want to see them get better and listen to.
They're not going to. I'm sorry.
Probably.
Well,
Not.
there's no hope for that then.
No. Here's the thing. If I am this positive person that you guys claim I am, which I hope I am, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
But with that in mind, if I'm the one who's going to be pessimistic about this, it's just a sad case, because it's like, the reason why I don't think they're going to change is because I was there and I worked with them there. That's the thing. I don't know if you guys know this or not. I think you might know this a little bit, because I talked to you a little bit about it. I don't know if you know.
I did not.
Random Ramblings Productions came in twice to save Gamer Comic Expo. And keep in mind, how many years has Gamer Comic Expo been a thing? And the thing is, the first year... Dang it. I don't want to like get too deep into this. I'm just getting riled up now, and I'm so sorry. Long story short, the first convention that they had, the inaugural year, was bad. A lot of bad stuff happened. Very unorganized. A lot of disrespectful things were happening. Long story short, Random Ramblings came in, worked a lot of it out, and saved it to the point where by the end of the first year's event, they asked us to work with them for next year. Now, what happened was, the second year, every single piece of advice that we were giving them, they just pushed it aside. And then they were telling us, hey, we just want you guys to do this and this. And it's like, okay, if you say so. We did the things that we had to do. And then maybe in a future podcast, when we specifically focus on conventions, I'll share with you the details. So if anything, guys, make sure to subscribe to Silverback's channel.
Stay tuned.
In case we decide to do that, we'll let you know.
To be
Because
continued.
I do want to come back to talk about it.
Me too.
But basically, they screwed us over. They screwed a lot of other people over, and it just wasn't a good experience.
I
at
actually
all.
tried
Like,
to be a guest there, and they never reached back to me. And this is
Yeah.
when I was just starting out more of my content creation.
Yeah, it was aggravating, just the way that they planned things out and the way that they worked things out, and it's that they technically, okay, by law they don't owe us, but they, in the negotiations and in certain contracts, if you want to call them that, emails is what they are. They owe us they did owe Random Ramblings quite a hefty amount, but that's basically that. But going on, lighter topic.
all right.
But yeah, you and I met Anime UI, and it was a lot of fun. Like, I annoyed the heck out of you, being like, "What are you doing? What you up to? What's going on?"
Yeah, because I'm going around, interviewing cosplayers and whatnot, and that's how he found me out.
Because a bunch of my cosplay friends like pointed you out and be like, and it's like, hey, he's doing this interview thing, and like we recommend that you be part of it. And it's like, oh, okay, sure. Like, why me? And it's like, no, it's just, you're fun, and we want to see you in an interview, and and it's like, sure, okay, fine.
Oh, that's nice.
So then, but it's like, there's part of me that likes to act somewhat humble, but I also know there's a part of me that loves to brag. And it's a fault. It is a fault. So then I just kept annoying Silver throughout the day, just be like, "What you doing? What you doing? Is that an interview? What you doing? Do you want me to be?" It wasn't until near the end of the con he's like, "Okay, I got no one else to interview. Will you want to jump in?" And I'm like, "Let's go!" I mean, it was fun. It was
definitely
fun.
All right. Well, we do have a few topics that we can discuss.
Yeah. Let's go.
The first one, which is a very controversial one, which is The Last of Us 2 leaks. There were someone at Naughty Dog. Well, they're no longer with Naughty Dog. Funny how Sony and Naughty Dog saying that, yeah, this person is no longer affiliated with us, but yeah, because you guys have terminated the person, or the person done be like, you know what, I'm chucking up the deuces and I'm out.
So Naughty Dog fired a person for being naughty.
Yes.
I mean, that being said, anyone who leaks a project of any kind, whether it's
especially
a show,
an upcoming game that people are anticipating,
because in the realm of pop culture, leaks happen a lot, and it really does suck. In video games and shows like
movies,
Last of Us being the prime example right now. There's also examples like Steven Universe had a lot of leak problems.
Oh, I remember that.
That was a big situation. Kingdom Hearts 3 had a couple of leak problems as well. And obviously Smash Bros. Is another one.
Oh, the file encryptions. I remember that.
And it's like, and it really sucks when stuff like this happens. Because, like, the people who work so hard to make these things happen, to make these projects what they are, it sucks. It really does to see this. And, like, thank goodness for me, and thank goodness for a lot of other people that, like, a bunch of us are just staying away, just being like, not looking at that. We're playing the game. But not other people were not so lucky, and it's just, it really is a shame.
Well, I did get to watch the leaks. I watched it because, I mean, I ain't
tell me a thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to discuss.
I will. Silver, I will walk off this podcast right now.
Just don't take the donuts.
I will leave. I will take the donuts. I will take your keys.
Oh, you monster!
And I'll drive away. But then I'll feel bad. I'll come back. I'll pick you up, and then I'll drop you home, and I'll walk home.
Wait, what?
What? That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense. But yeah,
you've been warned.
I saw the leaks, I saw the videos, and I was like, oh god, I am disappointed. The only positive that I got from the leaks was the fact that, well, at least I ain't got to drop $60 for this game on day one release.
Huh.
Dang.
Because the way how the story was going, even though it's, well, you don't know what's going to happen, or you didn't get the entire story. But just like a really good important part of the story or whatnot. So I'm just like, yep, I'm going to wait until this goes on a sale.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That does not sound good.
Because I would be mad and very upset that if I spent $60 on a game and then it turns out to be crap, I'm going to be like, oh, this sucks. And there's been some games that I've spent money on day one and it turned out to be a complete and total disappointment. And one of them being Code Vein. Though it was an anime Dark Souls, one of the best character customizations that I've ever seen in an RPG, it was a disappointment. The DLC, I didn't even buy the DLC. The whole game was just a complete disappointment. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. I felt like I blew $60 for nothing or whatnot. If they do release a sequel and make some changes and improve the gameplay, because the gameplay was just, I mean, it's easier than Dark Souls. It's still
Seriously?
like it's easier than Dark Souls. But it's anime Dark Souls, and the story is just like a complete snooze fest. So I was just like, I was completely uninterested in the story. I'm just like, I just want to beat this game and get it over with.
Yeah. My luck was I think I mentioned this the last podcast, was the My Hero Academia video game.
Really?
Oh, I remember that one.
Honestly, it's just repetition. The multiplayer was kind of meh. The competitive side was kind of meh.
Oh, that sucks.
The story mode was just how it's played, but you just fight everybody. You see it from like basically season 2 and 3ish. And you see shoot style Deku fighting against regular Deku, All Might, All for One. And you just see the basic story just in video game format, and the customizable equipment just sucked. Because you can just basically have Deku wearing Toga's collar or Karishma of All for One's mask. It's just stuff that didn't really blend well.
Because I know that a lot of people, when it comes to the anime like fighting games, obviously the one that everyone points back to is like the Naruto
Storm series.
Those are good.
And what I'm wondering is because I've played the My Hero games, but not like I don't have them. I played them at like friends' house, or I played them at conventions. And the thing is, I actually don't know. Like, does it have? You say it follows the story. Does it have the mechanic that they had in Naruto where you can walk around at least? Or is it just
missions?
It's just like, do this fight, next, do this fight,
yeah,
next, do
it
this
shows
fight.
like small cutscenes. I don't know how the second one is since I haven't seen much gameplay or bothered to watch it.
Oh, that kind of sucks. Because it's like, it would be cool if there was an aspect where it's like, the fighting game is not a bad idea, but it would be cool for you to like have a little bit of exploration, like how you did in the Storm series,
I would
where
love to.
you could walk around the Leaf Village and the Sand Village and like different areas, and like you could explore the world of Naruto, making it at least feel more like you're in it. Where and imagine like you're freaking playing as Deku running around UA, and it's like, you're telling me that's not exciting?
Or
You
the whole
freaking
city
like
of Japan.
all One for All or full cowling, jumping around doing the zip.
Yeah, but it was just for the first game. It was just straight missions where you start off fighting Hero Killer Stain.
That's
that's just
upsetting.
boring.
It was honestly.
That is upsetting.
I got 100% on everything just because I wanted the achievement.
I feel like I can't. I don't. Nah, I was gonna say this, but then I'm like, wait, no, because the Storm series didn't do this either.
No.
Where I was like, oh, like, why not they just made a game where they add these story sections and character sections to it through DLC? But then I'm imagining, wait, like, because I was gonna be like, because the Storm's here, but then I realized, no, actually, no, they did that exact same thing. The first Naruto Ninja Storm ended with like.
You had the Boruto expansion, like you had Ultimate Ninja Storm, and then later in the DLC, the Boruto expansion came through where you had a different version of Hokage Naruto and adult Sasuke.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the original Ultimate Ninja, like original.
Oh.
Where
PlayStation 2?
I think the final level was either. Let me know if I'm wrong because I don't entirely remember, but I think it was either. It either ended at Zabuza's fight or it ended during the Chunin exam. And it's like, when you think of Naruto now, that's not far at all.
Yeah.
But it's like, now that I think about it, it's like, okay, I can see where you could compare that to My Hero. But I guess the difference is of the times.
Yeah.
Where we live in a time where DLC is possible. So maybe that would make it a bit better to work with. Maybe.
That's true.
I don't know. Because back then, we were willing to do that because it's like, more Naruto, and it's good with the story, we want to play this and all that stuff. And it felt more worth it, which is why it felt more appropriate to pay the full price for the game. But these days, it's just like, it's the same thing, but now adding story, and we have to play these levels over again, and there's nothing new being added, because at least with the Ninja series, they added stuff like exploration and side missions, and then like even I remember Ninja Storm 3 had its own separate story mode to the story mode that was in it, where the entire Leaf Village was doing this contest where they had to collect these crystals, and like the winner gets one wish from the Hokage that granted, and like that was a whole thing, like a genuine story mode from that. And it's like, like original and everything to the game, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And you run around the Leaf Village jumping off walls and climbing things and interacting with different characters, and I'm like, that's cool. I remember that.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
And speaking of adding DLC to an existing game to further expand it, let's talk about Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath, where this one took me by surprise because
It took me too.
I was expecting, another combat pack where they're gonna have, more characters into the game, but now they're adding they're continuing the story, and there's gonna be characters and there's gonna be playable characters as well, which is, I was like, wow,
it's huge.
Yeah.
because I'll say it, like NetherRealm, I'll give credit to them. NetherRealm Studios, they've been really killing it with their fighting games with really good story, like the Injustice games. So good. Injustice 2, my God. Like, even though I got into the game late, I was watching the entire playthrough on YouTube. Beautiful story.
Yeah.
Loved
Yes,
it.
it is. Yes.
From start to finish.
definitely good
Beautiful story. Great voice acting. And now we come to Mortal Kombat with the Mortal Kombat universe. They resetted the universe in Mortal Kombat 9. They continued it in 10 and 11. To me, I felt like Mortal Kombat 11 had a very weak story, and now with Aftermath, probably they're going to tie up some loose ends and make the story a lot better and have maybe possibly a better ending. So there is that possibility, but I got to give them credit that for a fighting game, developer. You don't see this with other fighting game developers. You don't see this with Capcom with Street Fighter or Bandai Namco with Tekken, where they expand the story a lot more while still adding DLC characters. Because let's just say if you wanted to know more about a character, you would just play through like an arcade mode or whatnot, and then boom, you get like some backstory of it or whatnot, or you just read some more information about the character. But now you're getting an additional story and some more new characters, so that's going to continue further expanding the universe. That, to me, I got to give them credit.
It's definitely really interesting.
It's like they're literally revolutionizing the fighting game storytelling, because usually in fighting games they don't tell they don't tell very good stories. It's just basic and generic. But NetherRealm's been killing it, man.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
It very much skewed away from the whole, we had to enter this Mortal Kombat like fighting tournament and the winner blah blah blah. Now there's more like a thing at stake, if I remember correctly, because I admit I don't follow Mortal Kombat too much, but I do know, like, if I remember correctly, there's like the story of it is that they're like traveling through time to prevent this disaster from happening. Very much
pretty much they're trying to fix the timeline.
It's their end game, or X-Men Days of Future's Past, in a sense.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then somehow they're also adding in RoboCop into that, which is very...
Yes, I was surprised.
That was cool.
Hands in the air, dirtbag. I love that intro.
It was weird, because I see that and I'm like, why do I feel like you were already in this game? I don't know why I had the mentality of like, I thought you were already in this. But when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's such a big deal. I had a similar reaction to when I saw, like, Joker. Because I was like, were you not already in it? But then I kind of like went back in time in my head, and I'm like, oh wait, no, I'm thinking Injustice. So that explains Joker. But RoboCop, that doesn't explain a thing, because I have this vague memory of RoboCop already being in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, he is fan service.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I do give props for him, and also the fact that they're gonna have some free stages, friendships. Yes,
they're bringing back friendships, and I'm loving it.
Is that the thing where like Scorpion did the get over here and he hugged that little...
Yes.
What is that? I want to know what that is, because I actually don't know.
Friendships is like another form of fatality where you're not brutalizing somebody, but you're just having comic relief.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Like, Kano's is my all-time favorite, because you just see him use an I-beam cooking up some like actual like foods.
And every character has a friendship thing?
Yes. Yeah, they're going to have one.
I'm so curious to see what characters like. Again, I'm trying to remember. I want to see Sub-Zeros.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see.
Yeah,
I want to see Jokers.
Yes.
And I want to see RoboCops.
I'm curious.
Jokers, I'm so curious to see what the heck they're gonna do for a friendship for Joker.
I'm thinking the same thing too.
If anything, I could see him doing the thing where it's like maybe his friendship would be him like seeing Bat, but it's like, oh, Batsy, you're back! and comes in and like hugs or something.
Wow, that was actually good.
Thank you. I do a couple of impressions here and there. It's fun.
Also, with the pre-order, they're gonna have some of the classics like Frost's Deception skin,
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Sub-Zero and Scorpion from MK9. I loved it.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, and then our next topic is Apex Legends Season 5. I know you play Apex Legends. Do you play Apex?
I definitely do play Apex Legends, but it's been a while just because my PS4 is currently at my girlfriend's house over in Port St. Lucie. So
Oh dear.
no, but I'm gonna be seeing her soon at some point. So like it's I'll probably like either whether or not I take it back. It depends because I've gotten used to life without it right now, and at some point I will get it back because there are a lot of games I still want to play.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But for now I'm fine. But I do love Apex. It's a lot of fun.
And I'm also liking what they're doing for Apex, where they're also creating a story for it. Not too long ago, we have like a backs. Oh, what? No. What just happened?
Technical difficulties.
Oh no!
Technical difficulties.
Did it die out?
Yeah, the battery's low. The recorder battery's low.
Shoot.
So,
no.
I mean, we still have the audio of the podcast.
Oh, okay.
On the broadcast, so we'll just be using that.
If you guys want, I could go look for batteries over the thing.
No, it's good because if anything, like, just because this died out, then I'll just have to convert the entire audio of the actual podcast to audio. So
Yeah, but I think it'll be easy for me to just look for some batteries. It'll be fine. Just give
I
me.
have extra batteries, so yeah, I have extra batteries, but I'm not gonna worry about it. The show must go on, even though we've had technical difficulties. So.
Good to have no headphones on. Indoor voice.
But yeah, I was gonna say that with Apex Legends Season 5, I'm liking what they're doing. They're giving backstories for characters. They just recently did one with Bloodhound, so I can't wait to see everybody else's. I think the one I'm more interested in seeing is Mirage's backstory and
yes.
Octane. And I mean, we've already seen Revenant. Well, we haven't seen all of Revenant's backstory, but a good gist of it.
It's a good chunk, like a really good chunk.
It's really cool.
Because you're sort of bringing two origins together, and I found that pretty cool with the new hero. What's her name again?
Loba.
Lova. Yeah, do you think they're going to add more into the map? I don't know if it's going to be King's Canyon or World's End.
I know they're changing up King's Canyon, but I'm not sure about World's End if they're going to change anything for that one.
Because that whole room with the Revenants, that's wild.
Oh.
That's sort of like the Mirage Voyage, as my friends call it. Where you have all the camouflage. Like, Revenant could just camouflage with everybody in flank. If they find a post.
Interesting.
That sounds fun. That's good. Like, again, I'm interested in the story just because, like, I know that there's been like a lot of these like go back in time to save the world stories recently, and it's always been kind of like this finale kind of thing. You see that in Endgame. You see that in you saw that recently with minor spoiler, but not like massive. But you technically see that with like the last Justice League animated film. Dark Apocalypse, I think that's what it's called.
I've seen some clips of it, and
haven't
it looks crazy.
I haven't seen it yet.
It is intense. It's not my favorite. It is one of the best stories I've heard. But it mainly just due to the fact of like the things that happen storytelling wise is fantastic.
Okay.
But as a fanboy,
So it leaves questions.
Yeah, no, there are no questions asked.
Oh dear.
You get all the answers you need.
Oh,
it's
dear.
just I hope that you are not someone who gets attached to characters, is what I will say, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
If you care about any character in DC,
Don't.
do not get attached.
Okay, I'm ahead of you.
At all. Okay, that's it. We're good. We're fine. On to the next topic. I'm freaking getting a donut and some batteries. Let's
Oh man. Well, our next topic is.
Where are the batteries?
That's a good question.
Oh man. Well, as he's going to look for batteries, I think I have some in my bag or whatnot, but I mean, we've already talked.
It's your podcast, so you stay on.
Yeah.
Just tell me where to go.
We're talking about the 5 video game bosses we.
Yeah, your top 5 video game bosses.
I took some time to sat down and thought about it. I'm still blank, but I'm gonna put the recent one on as Akuma from Tekken. I just hate the Street Fighter logic that they put into Tekken because they put zoners in there, but he's just a whole different level of zoning. Hadokens, fire Hadokens, massive Hadoken. Then Masapaku, I think is what it's called, where he does like the 1,000 deaths.
And do you see him jumping a lot?
Yeah. I tried in the Mishima saga. I tried it on normal difficulty, and I couldn't even do it. I lost my mind.
Oh yeah, like I played it, and I'm using Heihachi, and I'm fighting against Akuma. It became annoying. I was like, yep, I'm lowering the difficulty. I just want to get past this, get to know the story, and just be done with it.
Who else would I put?
So that's one boss.
I'd say Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat 9. At least story mode. Story mode, he was on it, but arcade is another level. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Like
his uppercuts were filthy.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then he just, he's doing combos on you, and then he taunts you, and then punishes you some more.
Yeah, it's just brutality at its finest.
Yes. I mean, he's also one of my top 5 bosses of all time.
Okay, so I know that's what we got in common. What would you say is your second?
My second would be Geese Howard from Fatal Fury.
Oh gosh, I remember that.
Oh man, fighting
watching him in Tekken is just, I imagine.
I was ecstatic when they announced Geese Howard coming to Tekken and whatnot, and they just they made him beautiful in that game.
Agreed.
Just complete beautiful, and exactly how I imagined him, just menacing. Love it, love every minute of it. And I'm like, this is the reason why he is one of my favorite bosses of all time. Love Geese, man. Geese, Shao Kahn. So who would be your third?
That's what I'm thinking. I would go with Resident Evil 5 Albert Wesker.
Good old Wesker.
Just that mission to save Jill Valentine was the biggest pain for me when I was a kid. Because I tried it on the hardest difficulty also. And I had my cousin just teach me how to play, which was even worse. It was so much pressure of Wesker on you, and Jill Valentine trying to kill you when you're trying to save her. But definitely, that's a good game.
Yeah, I completely fell out of it.
I'm into Resident Evil lore briefly, but just that memory.
You can find any?
I found a battery. Outside.
I mean,
I picked it off of this one mysterious looking fellow.
Oh dear.
I mean, he seemed trustworthy. He said that he obtained the batteries while flying, apparently. I don't know what that means, but seems trustful.
Seems like a lot of air.
Yeah.
well, it's not turning on, so I guess that was a dead. So well.
So
The show must go on.
we're talking about video game bosses. Who would
And he
you?
just named his third one, which was Albert Wesker. So, what are your top 5 video game bosses?
Top 5 video game bosses. Okay, like, is this based off of how hard they were, or memorability, or
Anything.
Your favorites.
My favorites would probably be, in no particular order, Red from Pokemon is a big one.
That's a
good one. Specifically, like, I recently fought him again I say recently, but it's actually been like a year or so. But in Sun and Moon, I fought him, and it was really cool fighting him again after all these years, especially now that he has like Mega Evolution and Z moves and all that other stuff. And I was like, oh, it's cool. This is so awesome. And like my team barely beat him, but it was a fun fight. Especially my favorite fight between me and him was between our Pikachu, because his main Pokemon is Pikachu. But my main Pokemon is also Pikachu, funny enough. Like, growing up, Pikachu has always been my partner. Up until recently, because now, technically, Greninja and Pikachu are kind of, like, tied these days. But, yeah, so then, it was a really fun fight. Very cool. It really felt like this is the ultimate challenge for who I am as a Pokemon trainer in those games. Other bosses that I like to fight, specifically, would be, I think one of the most memorable fights that was super cool was the final fight in Kingdom Hearts 2, where you're playing a Sora Riku versus Xemnas, the leader of Organization 13.
That is iconic.
That's a throwback
cool fight. That like, and the way it ends and everything, where it's like you're in this like dark realm and these lasers are shooting at you, and you have to like deflect all of them, all this stuff, in order to continue fighting. It was like so cool. At some point, Sora has to use both his and Riku's Keyblade and all that. Really, really dope. Really fun. Another fight would be, this is controversial, but in my opinion, it was rather fun. I did like... it's not the best, but I had fun in the final boss for Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic 06 to be precise.
Oh,
yeah,
Lord.
Yeah, where you fight Mephiles and Solaris. See, in that fight, it wasn't exactly easy to play as other characters. Like, the only characters who you really kick their butt with is like Silver and sometimes Shadow. Like, it sucks because Sonic is my favorite video game character of all time, so like Sonic felt useless in that fight. But with that in mind, it just felt really good kicking his butt, just because, again, like, not even a minor spoiler, it's kind of a major spoiler. So if for whatever reason you care about Sonic 06 as much as I do, because I actually really love that game, not a lot of people share that opinion, but I wanted to get back at this dude for killing my homeboy, because they killed Sonic in this game.
Wait, which Sonic is? Which
Sonic 06.
I'm thinking, like, was this the one for the Nintendo Wii where he turns into a werewolf? Okay,
no.
I got worried.
That's Sonic Unleashed.
Oh.
That final boss was actually pretty dope.
Yes, it was.
And it was actually really good. No, I'm talking about Sonic 06, the controversial one.
Oh.
Yeah,
the one with the princess.
Now I remember. The Black Knight.
No, that's Sonic and the Black Knight.
Oh my god.
That's Sonic and the Black Knight. You said the name.
So many Sonics.
There's a lot of Sonics. Just like there's a lot of Marios and a lot of Zeldas. And there's a lot. But no. So it felt very satisfying kicking their butt. It was very fun. I'm trying to think of any other ones. If you guys want, Taboo and Smash Bros. Subspace Emissary.
I'm trying to remember
that was so hard, but so fun. Because I'm not familiar.
I'm blank.
I don't got
so in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, there is an actual story mode, Subspace Emissary, with a genuine story.
Yeah,
that
I played
follows
it.
all the characters, and you get to play as all of them. And at the very end of the story mode, there's this ultimate bad guy who kills everyone. The only people left standing are Luigi, Kirby, King Dedede, and Ness. And they're on a mission to go into the subspace to save everyone. So like everyone is dead, and when you die in the realm of Super Smash Bros., when you die, you turn into a trophy. So, or when you take massive amounts of damage, you turn into a trophy. That's the way the story mode works whenever someone gets axed off. So what happens though is you can be revived if a character touches your trophy base. That's basically what it is. So technically they're not exactly perma-dead, but they are dead in a sense. So they go on this mission to save everyone, and I mean everyone, like from Mario, Pikachu, Pokemon Trainer, like all the freaking characters in Smash. And they go on this mission, and they meet up with Boo once again, and they're all trapped, and it's like, fudge, there's nothing we can do. We're all here, there's no way we can survive. Taboo is about to explode and kill them all again when a flash of blue streaks through and destroys his explosive wings, because he has like these butterfly wings that destroy, and that's his ultimate move. Destroys his wings. You see up in the mountain of subspace, and it's like, who saved us? And there's Sonic. You can tell I'm a bit of a Sonic fanboy, but still, that was one of the most hype moments I've ever seen, because there was no hints at all that this guy was into story mode at all. Right. At all. All the other characters were in. Except for like one or two besides. But, and then Sonic comes in out of nowhere just saving everyone, and it's like, what the fudge? And it was just really cool. It was fun. It was a fun fight. One of the hardest boss fights I've had, though, because he has like certain one-hit KO moves that destroy you. And I guess if I had to pick a fifth one, because if I have a Sephiroth, that's it. Sephiroth from either Final Fantasy VII or Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah. I know that fight because I remember doing this when I was like 12, and I had to fight him 50 times in a row. Exactly. Then the wing comes out, and you know you're screwed.
Yeah.
Sephiroth.
So who was your last two?
My last two, I was thinking about it, and it comes into a very thin line. It just depends on like most memorable and such. And I was thinking about Eggman from Shadow the Hedgehog. That's a classic game. Because the game had so many endings that you either save Eggman, you kill him, or even the aliens around it. I would consider them along with number 4. Mm-hmm. Because you had so many choices and so many consequences.
Oh yeah, it took a lot of different turns. It was... I feel like there should have been a better way to like connect it with the true ending. I feel. But besides that, though, it was interesting to see how it is interesting to see how Shadow's interaction with these bosses and characters affected the ending.
I enjoyed it.
Cool. Yeah.
And your last?
Wow. I was thinking about this. My last one.
Oh, I thought for a moment it was going to be like, wow, like World of Warcraft. And I'm like, there's a final boss there?
Oh my god.
I thought the game's never ending.
I'm stuck on this one. I didn't think about a fifth boss. So that's so troubling. I would go with Chronica as my recent. So anyone that plays Mortal Kombat knows she has certain kills that will knock out either a quarter, a half, or maybe 3/4 of your health, depending on the difficulty you're in. Especially in the story mode. The story mode was where everybody was screwed. Because they would just knock out the whole story. Like, you think you're almost done with the story, it's a different ending. Technically, it counts as an ending where Chronica just rips Liu Kang in half.
Oof.
But it's not a true ending unless you defeat her.
Right.
And then the fatality, watching it multiple times, just made me want to rip my beard out. I know my mom would love that.
Fatality.
Well, let me go ahead and explain my top 5 bosses. I mean, of course, you and I, we have the same favorite boss, Shao Kahn. He's one. Geese Howard from Fatal Fury. He's my second. My third is Virgil from Devil May Cry.
Oh my gosh.
3 and Devil May Cry 5. He's my third.
I know about Virgil.
Yes, love Virgil. My fourth is Senator Stephen Armstrong from Metal Gear Rising Metal Gear Revengeance, Metal Gear Revengeance, the one with Raiden. Senator Armstrong, he's my fourth. And finally, my fifth, this is from the PlayStation 2, and that is the boss from Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Those are classic.
Yeah. Those are my top 5. Shao Kahn, Geese, Virgil, Senator Armstrong, and the boss.
I'm going to give an honorable mention. Bowser, Mario 64.
Yes.
So long, Bowser. Oh, here's another honorable mention. I do not know this series very well, but because you mentioned boss, What's the name of that one dude who messes with your game in the Metal Gear series?
Psycho Mantis?
Yes.
Yes, Psycho Mantis. That dude.
I remember him. That's
That dude. It's hard.
Traumatized you when you was a kid.
Yeah.
I watched my cousin play this, and I
No,
saw
my game file. Oh, I can't believe we didn't think of this one boss though, who actually messes also with your game file. Freaking the final boss in Undertale. No spoiler, because I know that that's actually a very heavily story-based game, but
with choices and consequences.
a lot of different choices and consequences. But, and I'm speaking straight into the microphone for this. Play Undertale. It's hard, but it's fun. And if you go through the true ending, which is the pacifist ending, all I'll say is it's interesting, very interesting, and very worth it.
Oh dear. I gotta get into it. A friend of mine's into lore and wants me to cosplay as Sans.
Get dunked on, man.
Yep.
Get dunked on.
Please.
Or else you're going to have a bad time.
All right, and our next one, games that deserve a continuation.
You know, that's a tough one. So many games are coming out, or sequels, or prequels. It's hard to tell what's
Sonic Adventure 3. What? Yeah? What?
You know, I would say Sonic Heroes, but that sounds like a terrible idea.
We've been waiting.
We've
been waiting.
I got a few games that deserve a continuation. I would like to see a continuation of the Onimusha series from the PlayStation 2. I would like to see a continuation of that. I would also like to see a continuation of... Trying to think. Yeah, I'm stuck. I'll pass.
It's stuck because it's a touchy subject, because there's either a plan to make a new game or variation of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can name a few that technically, at least not confirmed, there's no plan. I know I made that joke about Sonic Adventure 3, but it's like the entire, at least when it comes to the Sonic fan base, everyone, like, there are memes about Sonic Adventure 3 to the point where it's like, I just feel like it'd be so cool to have that. There are no plans for making that so far from what I know. So that would be a cool sequel. And then also just a lot of the video game mascot series deserve like sequels, like things that we're waiting for. Like,
yeah.
I'm talking like Sonic, but I'm also talking about like Mega Man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For the next Mega Man. I know we have Mega Man 11, so that's good. So they're going on the right path. We want to see more.
Definitely.
Also with games like we got Crash and Spyro coming back with their trilogies, but the problem, not a problem, because they're great. But the thing is, they're
the same thing.
It's the same games, just
retouched.
Prettier and retouched, and maybe better controls and all that. But like, we want to see a continuation from that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Crash 4 or Spyro 4 or whatever it is that you want to see, because arguably, when it comes to Spyro, at least you know that there's like certain continuations that are a little confusing, but just stuff like that I think would be a lot of fun. Sly Cooper.
Oh,
yeah. Really cool. I'm still waiting for Sly 5. We got that weird cliffhanger in the end of Sly 4.
Band of Thieves was one of my personal favorites.
Yeah. So that's definitely another series that I feel, just a lot of the mascot character games that we haven't seen in forever. I feel like we definitely should see a resurgence. I know everyone's waiting also for like Metro Prime 4 that we're.
Oh yeah, I would like to see another Metro Prime.
Breath of the Wild 2, a continuation for Mario Odyssey if that's possible.
Okay, that's a good game.
Mario Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Galaxy or Mario Odyssey. Just
Agreed, I'm a Mario nerd.
Just like. This is a little off topic, but not entirely. But it's like I do want to see a bit more. I know this is silly to ask for a Mario game, because like that's one of the reasons why I feel like I prefer. I like both Sonic and Mario, but if I were to go for one, I'd probably go with Sonic just because I prefer story, and Mario is more about gameplay.
Yeah,
agreed.
So that's the thing. Am I the only one who was freaking irked when the entire story of Mario Odyssey was freaking hinting at a stupid wedding that never actually happened?
Yep, Wedding Crashers.
It ticks me off, man.
Oh my god.
It's like, is it finally happening? Is Mario and Peach gonna get... No!
Then Bowser.
Damn it! No! It's like,
Hands down, best team ever. Changed my mind.
No. Mario and Bowser.
Yeah.
Might as well. Dang. We're sick of your cake, woman. Give us. We want to give the ring. Ah!
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen for another.
Ah!
I don't think it's gonna happen at all. But you know what I was thinking would be a good fighting game? Sonic Brawl.
So Sonic Fighters.
Yep.
Or Sonic Battle.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'd be down. A sequel to Sonic Battle would be great.
Like, I played it on the emulator for the Game Boy Advance.
I did too.
And I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, it was
the gameplay
great.
was super simple, but if they actually made it 3D with more techniques and combos.
I can see that. I could also see add more characters. I think it'll be fun. Like, a fighting game is the perfect excuse to put in as many characters as you want.
Yeah, it's like that Sonic Arena game.
Yeah, because I know that there's always been this whole like thing where people are like, "Oh, Sonic has too many friends," and it's like, I'm sorry that it's a horrible thing for someone to have friends. What the fudge? What the heck? I'm sorry.
Because I used to play as Metal Sonic in the arcade games.
It's yeah, exactly. Metal Sonic's cool. But yeah, like see Metal Sonic be added as a character. The Chaotix, just other Blaze, Silver.
Oh yeah.
Just add all of them. I think it could be a lot of fun.
Vector.
He's part of the Chaotix, so yes.
My love for Vector is just
Mighty and Ray, I want to see. I don't know if this is true or not. I heard someone mentioning that apparently we're never going to see Mighty and Ray in a modern Sonic game, and I'm just like,
well, that's saddening.
I would love to see that though. Or I understand it's just because like they're classic characters, so it's like we want to keep them classic. But I'm like, I respect classic Sonic for what it is. Sonic Mania is fantastic. It is a great game, but because I'm a guy of story, I prefer modern Sonic. But I also understand that it's like it's not the popular opinion.
Yeah. There's another game I thought about, Ashura. You ever played it?
Ashura? No.
It's basically it's a mix of God of War, a little bit of hack and slash, T for team, but it's basically the God of Rage, and his goal was originally to get back his daughter that was kidnapped by other gods.
Right.
And he's like the black sheep in the group because he gets so enraged easily. But his true form, like you'll see over time through reactions, like he grows arms out of his back that are metal, and he just starts fighting.
Oh, Ashura. Ashura's Wrath?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Like, they should make a second one for that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I know the true ending's in DLC, but I want another one just made for the heck of it.
Yeah.
Him fighting more characters.
Yeah. I'm trying to think other sequel games that we can think of. This is obviously going to happen at some point, but I'm with Kingdom Hearts, whatever the next one is going to be. We got that again, like, not going to spoil too much, but we did get that crazy cliffhanger ending in Kingdom Hearts 3, so it's like it's so like I want to see what happens next. Obviously, they're obviously going to make another one. I just really want to see what they do. I don't know. Any other sequels you guys might have in mind?
I think
I drew a blank.
I know. Once we got this question asked, I just drew a blank instantly.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
Not sequels, but DLC. I would obviously. I always want to see more DLC in Smash.
Yeah.
But I also want to see more DLC in like certain games, like freaking. This is such a wasted opportunity, and it bothers me that they didn't. But freaking give us like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe more DLC.
Yeah, they should have more characters.
Almost had nothing.
And more maps.
Yeah, like give us more racetracks and more maps, because this is the perfect time to do that. You're telling so many characters in Nintendo could work in that too, like Kirby with because of Kirby's Air Ride. You have what's it called? You have F-Zero stages, but you don't have Captain Falcon as a racer. You have Link, who has nothing to do
have
with
Isabelle and Animal
racing.
Crossing Villagers.
Nope.
They should expand a little bit more.
Yeah, like
I agree with that.
you're telling. Again, I'm biased, but you're telling me you have a racing game with Mario, and you're not gonna put Sonic in it. They're rivals, and he's about speed. Does that not make sense? Technically, you could put the Sonic amiibo and you could get a Sonic costume for your Mii.
That's disappointing.
But it's like, yeah, like freaking put in the real thing if you're gonna put all that effort to make a costume.
Yeah, give me some
Exactly.
gravy,
Like Pac-Man too. The Mario Kart arcade games
Yeah, it has
have Pac-Man in it.
Yeah.
You're
Put
right.
him in.
Yeah.
That'll be great. I'm just complaining a lot in this podcast now. I'm so sorry. I'm
You're
just
fine.
letting it all out.
You're good. You're welcome. You're welcome to do what you like.
I want these games could be fun. They could be good, but you gotta think. Getting rid of half of the Pokemon is not a good idea, Game Freak. Getting rid of Mega Evolutions and Z-Moves and combining them into some sort of stupid gimmick that has nothing to do with the lore of Pokemon is not a good idea, Game Freak. Where's our Mega Flygon, Game Freak?
I'm putting this on my Instagram. Like, this is you and I have the same
Where's
Instagram.
Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remake, Game Freak?
Dude, you're right.
Man.
I missed a mining. I didn't even care about Minecraft, but I just missed a mining in on Diamond and Pearl. Dude, you just took the words right out of my mouth.
Man.
I'm dead.
Shield and Sword was a waste,
Yes.
but it was worth
No,
it.
Sword and Shield are fantastic for multiple reasons. They just also have a lot of problems.
Yes.
So it's that thing where it's like, it is a fantastic game with lovable characters and a great story. I do not care what people say. Hop is a great character
Oh, yeah.
if you look past the annoyance.
It's just that they got rid of everything. And it's just all.
They just got rid of everything else that like. It's
What-
weird where it had a great story, but they got rid of so many gameplay mechanics that are not only fun, but important to the lore.
But it's literally you gotta catch them all. I'm like, I haven't
Gotta
played.
catch half of them.
I haven't played Shield in like 3 months, and I think out of the current 400, I'm on like 280 something, and I gave up.
Yeah. And going to that, where it's like the reason why I said the whole thing about Mega Evolutions, it's because it's true. Like you could argue with Z moves, it's like okay, that's based in Alola, so maybe it makes sense not to have it. But with Mega Evolutions, Mega Evolution exists throughout the entire world of Pokemon,
And they've been talking about
it.
it.
It is tied so deep into the lore of how Pokemon works now.
But you compensate with
that
Dynamax.
to get rid of it makes no sense.
Like Dynamax, I feel is a good mechanic, but it is somewhat pointless to an extent. If you're doing,
it is a good mechanic for the competitive, yes, but lore-wise,
No.
it makes no sense
No,
for
no.
multiple reasons. First off, like, again with lore, it has nothing to do with it except for the fact that, again, spoilers. Just say in the beginning of if you edit these things, or I'm pretty sure you don't, or
No.
maybe yeah, but it's
Unfiltered.
like spoilers. Just put in the comment sections, yo, there's a bunch of spoilers for some of your favorite games.
Well, I mean,
But-
you already said spoilers already,
Yeah.
so if they're still
So-
listening at this point, that's on them.
Yeah. Freaking Eternatus, the Pokemon, is the one who like brings Dynamaxing into
whole
the
origin.
whole thing or whatever, and it's like, okay, I could get that in a sense, but it's like there's not enough lore to back the
Or explanation.
idea of Dynamax and Gigantamax. Especially, I was with Dynamaxing. But I was furious with Gigantamaxing. Hey!
I didn't know there was Gigantamaxing after.
Dude,
the
no.
game.
Freaking, you want to know what Gigantamaxing is as well, Luigi? You want to know? If you got it, for those of you who don't know at home, you want to know? Tell me if this sounds familiar. The Pokemon not only grows in size, but they change form into another form.
Yep.
What does that sound like? It sounds a lot like Mega Evolution.
Yes, it does.
And then when you Dynamax or Gigantamax, your moves change depending on the types.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. What does that sound like, guys? It sounds like Z moves? What the fudge?
It's like watered down Z moves. Because you have like an avalanche, earthquake, you have like, ghost solar beams. The list can go on.
Pokemon is one of my favorite series of all time, and the fact that it gets me so angry, just like, I don't know. Because recently with Pokemon, it just feels like it keeps hitting and stabbing me over and over again.
Yeah,
it hurts.
You wish that gash was a paper cut, honestly, but it's not. You're going to need a full restore.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It was super effective.
All right, let's get into our last one, and that is the Q&A.
All right, I didn't get much about the Q&A, but I got 2 unique questions from this.
All right, let's go.
And from my Instagram, let me just get to my archives. Because this post was over 24 hours.
I don't think I really have that many questions. Maybe I do. Let me see.
All right. One comes from my protege, Comrade Jotaro Cosplays.
Uh-huh.
He was asking about any of the Metro games, how you guys felt about it.
Like the Metro...
Like any of the Metros.
They... Like, I have them, except Exodus. I think I have, like, the first 2 from the PS3 days. Because, I don't know, I got them for free from somewhere. I don't know. But I never put in the time into them. They look very interesting. It's just putting in the time to it, going back and be like, all right, you know what? This game series looks interesting. And the game does look interesting. I haven't heard any negative stuff about it. And I'd like to give it a playthrough. At least, one good day. So that way I can, see what the universe is like from my perspective.
I never got into it, unfortunately. I wish I did.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this game is. Or, well, say the name again?
Metro. There's a few different series for the game.
Metro?
Yes.
Not Metroid.
No, Metro.
There's like Metro Last Light, Metro Exodus.
Nah. I've heard of Metro Exodus. I've never played any of the games.
All right, I'll go to the last question. This one comes from my Utah buddy, TS Cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And this is a Mortal Kombat one, so I hope you're ready.
Alrighty. Shoot.
It's actually 2 questions. Are Jade and Collector cheap AF?
Jade, yes. Collector, not so much.
I feel like he's doing it to spite me because he knows those are my mains. So I'm going to say no because I'm biased.
Who is, what was the question?
Are Jade and the Collector. There are 2 different characters from the Mortal Kombat series.
Are they what?
Cheap. Like cheap to fight.
Oh, I don't play enough Mortal Kombat to know.
You're fine.
I feel like probably to go off, Jade sounds like a character who sounds like they could be cheap just by the name.
Oh yeah. Then the last question for what he has to say is, and does Scorpion need a buff and 3 more crushing blows?
Yes.
No.
You just gotta buff Scorpion
and this is
Sub-Zero all the time.
This is where we differ.
You just gotta buff Sub-Zero and Scorpion every time. Halden Lee asks, what is the best convention that you've ever attended?
Best convention I've ever attended. Ooh.
That's a really good question.
I have a few.
Because there's time and then there's actual, great convention. I've been to plenty.
I could give a couple of examples, but I want to hear you guys first because, again,
I'm going to say...
We're already past the 103 minutes mark, so...
Nah, you're fine.
I'm going to say Anime EY from last year. That was my best one. Because I interacted with a lot of people. I created a lot of content. It ended up literally being my longest video to edit because I was interviewing all of the vendors if I were there, and of course the cosplayers as well. So that was my best one. Anime Y was my best one.
That was fun. Yeah. I went to Anime UI actually on a little Comic-Con first date. That was fun.
Comic-Con first date?
Yeah, I met a girl online.
Nice.
And yo, you want to go to Comic-Con's date? She's like, heck yeah. We met up and we went down to Anime EY.
That's cute.
Nice.
That's wholesome.
Yeah,
then
we ended up becoming friends. It was more casual, and I respected that.
Okay, that's nice. I like that. That's good.
Deja, my homegirl. But my favorite con, I'd say, is SuperCon 2019.
Oh, okay. What's the reason?
So I went through some mental health issues afterwards, and SuperCon 2019 was a time where I came in I had no plan. I went with my best friend, Man of Doom, who was cosplayed only Doom guy at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He still does. But that's where I actually first met Silverback Senpai. And then I met another guy under the name Ashton_Builds who did the same cosplay as we did. We did the Spider-Man meme where we just pointed fingers at each other.
That's funny.
I know I said the story many times, and I can't help it because it's the funniest. And that's how we became friends knowing the Gears of War lore and all that such. We just talked about it. But that was just more my breakthrough in becoming an actual cosplayer and being more social.
That's pretty cool.
It was kind of like that Requiem or that Awakening. Insert a JoJo pose right now, but that's what actually got me more into going to conventions and more motivated.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I think I have maybe two or three answers. I'd say I have different answers for different reasons. One is because I'm basing it off of my experience, my the event itself, and then also my memories of it. So it's gonna sound so controversial, but it's even though I bashed a lot of it earlier, here's a reason why I'm gonna say GamerCom Expo.
Okay.
All right.
The convention sucks. I'm letting you know now. I'm not telling you should go. I'm saying it because of basing it off of my experience. The convention could be better though. Just saying. Maybe they'll change.
Every con has room for improvement.
Exactly.
Yes.
But it's just because I feel like GamerCom Expo is the con that really put an ironically positive name out there for Random Ramblings because of how horrible the event was and the work that we had to do to fix it. So then it was just really interesting because so many people looked up to us as of that point, to where everyone was listening to us and believing us and giving us their support.
That's great.
And being yo, you guys saved this convention. And so many people kept saying it over and over and over and over again, to the point where, and I'm not even talking about fans either. I'm talking about not just attendees, but also cosplayers, staff, even celebrities. There were celebrity guests who said, you guys are the reason that I enjoyed this con, or you guys are the reasons why I would go to more Florida conventions.
That's
and
awesome.
It's so crazy how that's a thing. So that's one. The other one is I'm nostalgic towards it just because it was our first time going to a convention as Random Rambling, or officially as Random Ramblings and hosting our panels and stuff, and that was MizuCon.
Oh, I've heard of it.
MizuCon, it was just a very fun event, very wonderful people, had a really good time. I know that now it got sold to Anime UI, but it's still it was still very happy memories that I have there. The last two cons that I can think of, I'm a little bit biased toward because Random Ramblings specifically had their hands in them. But again, because we had our hands in it, it ended off so fun. The first one being just any Hero Hype convention that Random Ramblings is part of, whether it's Hero Hype Comic Con or Miami Comic Con.
Okay.
Those are both very fun conventions that I enjoyed a lot, that are really fun, and they're really good people.
It's a small local one, and I definitely liked it.
Very deep into the community, very wholesome. And then Sunrise Comic Con.
Oh, I went to that last year. I saw your panel.
Yeah, little do you know, Random Ramblings Productions is actually one of the official people who run Sunrise Comic Con.
Noted.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's basically short, quick story that City of Sunrise calls me one day saying, "Hi, is this Pedro, the TheMediaNut from Random Ramblings Productions?" And I'm like, "Yeah, who's this?" We're the City of Sunrise Federal Department, and I'm like, did I do something wrong? No, we've seen your content and we've heard your work. And we're starting this new convention in Sunrise that we want to create. We want Random Ramblings to play a part in it. And we're like, holy fudge. That's awesome. Sure, well, great. And that's basically what happened. Random Ramblings is one of the people responsible for creating this convention. And so far, every time that this is going to, if the virus goes away, then this August should be their 3rd year. And it's exciting because I genuinely feel like I helped build something up, and it was really inspiring. And the fact that this was also one of the first cons where my team and I hosted a panel on like a giant main stage, and that was so cool. So Sunrise Comic Con is held in like this in the Sunrise
Convention Center.
I don't want to say convention center because it's not technically a convention center, but Civic Center.
Yes.
And in the Civic Center, there's this giant theater room, and with a giant stage, and we hosted Media Mash on that with some celebrity guests as well, including John Bailey, aka Epic Voice Guy from Honest Trailers. That was really cool.
Nice.
And so cool. It was such an honor. It was such a fun experience, and we're friends now. We talk every once in a while on social media, and it's a really good time.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
Man.
So those are some cons that really mean a lot to me.
Alrighty. Well.
Except for the first one.
Are you planning on going to, if it still opens up, the Hero Hype this end of March?
You mean May?
May, I'm sorry. My mind's good.
I'm not allowed to say too much just because it's not my con to say. I am working with them.
Nice.
Technically. Random Rambling. If there's ever a Hero Hype related convention in South Florida, it's safe to assume that Random Ramblings may have a hand in it.
That's
awesome.
all
I'll say. With that in mind, it depends on the state of the virus. Mm-hmm. If things are still the same, I made it very clear that RP is not going to attend, but we will promote it because, again, we love Hero Hype. They mean a lot to us. With that in mind, I admit I am hoping that, because Hero Hype means a lot to me. It is a very special con, and the people who work there, including the owner, Carlos Soto, they mean the world to me. They are wonderful, wonderful people who really focus on the community, and it sucks too because I feel like a lot of conventions kind of, I'm not gonna name any names, but they do kind of like bash on them a lot, which I feel really bad for because like they do genuine good work.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, I feel like if I were to be given the kind of like the permission to kind of like to make a decision of when do you want this con to be, well, due to the pandemic, I'd prefer it if we were to move the con. Agreed. And make it one of the first cons to open up once this is over. Because then, that's the thing. And that's a little fun fact about that. Whoever is the first con to open once all of this is over, that con is going to be remembered very fondly. Just due to the fact that it's the first con that people are going to after this is all over. Everyone's excited. Everyone's partying. Everyone's seeing each other again. And that's the thing. That's what I would wish for any of those things. And such a community-based event like Hero Hype should be, at least in my opinion, the con to do it. Because you could go to any of the big cons and it's what you're going to expect. It's going to be big either way. Yeah, but if one of the smaller cons or one of the more community-based cons were to be given that opportunity, I think it'd be a lot better. Because it gives them the opportunity to grow. Yeah. Definitely. That's what I feel. Similar sense that I feel with like Otaku Fest as well. Really fun con. A lot of other ones. Hallmat I love.
I've always wanted to go.
Yeah, same here.
Hallmat is a fun con, but I mentioned this to you in the car ride here that it is the only con that I am willing to give the exception to when it comes to this one thing that bothers me about certain conventions, and that is that I personally do not like conventions that make panelists pay.
Yeah.
I do not respect that at all. Again, I'm not going to name any names, but there are certain conventions here in South Florida that do that. Not a lot, but there are certain ones. You guys probably know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
But the thing is, the reason why Hallmatic works is mainly just due to the fact that I'm willing to argue against it, but at the same time, it's like it is such a massive event. Such a big con, arguably one of the biggest cons in Florida, that it's I'm willing to kind of accept that for that regard, because it has so much going
Agreed.
on.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I guess we can go ahead and wrap this up, put a bow on it, and call it a day.
Before we do, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Hygienic Solutions Inc. for giving us the shirts.
Oh yeah, definitely, greatly.
I appreciate it.
Stylish, very nice.
Yeah, my father, who runs the business, actually wanted to give us these shirts.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he runs a cleaning business for South Florida, Palm Beach County specifically. If there's anywhere you need cleaning, just send me a message and I'll send it back forward.
That's so cool.
All right, that's what's up.
Is this a segment where we
this is where we gonna end it. And so, if you guys have any closing words, now is the time.
Okay. Make sure to please make sure to follow me on social media of all kinds as TheMediaNut. I have my YouTube channel where I focus on doing a lot of different pop culture discussion videos. I recently just released a video of discussing whether or not Crash Bandicoot should be in Super Smash Bros. So that's a fun one. I do a lot of Smash Bros. And Pokemon and Kingdom Hearts videos there. Steven Universe as well, so it's a lot of really fun videos there. And then also please make sure to follow Random Ramblings Productions, where we do a lot of really cool cinematic projects and game shows, including Media Mash, Random Ramblings, and a bunch of other stuff. So please make sure to follow us. You could also find us on social media in those names as well. Thank you.
All right, and Waluigi, you have anything of closing?
Yeah, and I actually like to thank you for being our first guest.
Thank you.
Yeah,
we hope you keep striving to be the light of the community as well, because you're definitely comic relief for each of the conventions, and it is the best thing.
Yes.
I enjoy coming into.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Greatly. It means a lot. It really does. And I can't wait to come back soon.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, heck yeah.
We'll definitely have you back on.
Come back plus Ultra, baby, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus Ultra!
Alrighty, y'all. Well, that concludes episode 3 of the South Florida Gamers podcast. I'd like to thank TheMediaNut for coming on and joining us. And even though we had difficulty with our
difficulties.
Yeah, but the show's still gonna go on, and you guys are still gonna get the audio version of this. So it'll be up a little bit later on this evening, but you'll get it most likely, definitely.
Yeah,
Anyway, guys, thank y'all so much for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you, guys.
And for my audio listeners as well, be sure to go ahead and give us a follow and leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing, any improvements. All feedback is appreciated. And then, of course, be sure to follow myself, Waluigi, TheMediaNut on all of our social medias. The links to everything will be in the description below, so that way you guys can go ahead and check that out. And with that being said, we will do episode 4 2 weeks from now with another guest, but I'm not going to announce yet, but you guys will know soon enough.
Stay tuned, folks.
Yeah, and with that being said, you guys be safe, be good, stay positive, stay motivated, especially during these hard times, and most importantly, stay classy. I will catch you guys on the next episode.
See ya.
Peace.